What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we are going to be reviewing episode 3, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, entitled Power Broker. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you go do that right now. Hit that bell button and make sure you're notified on every video that I post on this channel. Now, let's get on with this video. As all the episodes go, as Falcon and the Winter Soldier continues, I'll be breaking down, each character in this episode, piece by piece. Now, let's start off by talking about John Walker's character in this episode. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of him in this episode. See him, start off as, he was trying to find more information about the power broker and to find a lead on the Flag Smashers with, his partner Battlestar. And, they kind of not taking him seriously. You can see him turning into this dark character more and more. By probably the 5th or 6th, 7th episode of this season, start to see him get more and more darker. But it's not really much to say about John Walker, U.S. agent, in this episode because there wasn't a whole lot of him in this episode. It was more of him just going around and trying to find him and Bucky. But I still loved his scenes with Battlestar and the people that he interacted with. That's all I have to say about his character. Now let's get on to the Flag Smashers themselves. We kind of get scenes of which that, we kind of get the Flag Smashers, them kind of dealing with Blip and, the after effects it had on them. I don't know, I think, for me, I understand what they're trying to do with Carly and the Flag Smashers, trying to make them sympathetic, but I don't know, I think maybe it's just me. I don't really feel sympathy for them. I do understand where they're trying to go with their story. Carly's story, especially, the girl that leads the Flag Smasher, the red-headed girl. But I don't know, I think I don't really care much about Carly or the Flag Smasher. Again, I understand what they're trying to do with them, but I don't know, for me, it's just not working. I also think that, we only in episode 3, so maybe I would change my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really care for them. Now let's talk about Sharon Carter. Now Sharon Carter, actually loved her in this episode. I actually really felt bad for her. We see her appear back in the MCU, Falcon and Winter Soldier in this episode. We see her. She's not doing too good. Agent of Shield anymore. Her friends, her family disowned her in this apartment. She's off the grid. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have anything. Because she helped Captain America and Sam and Bucky, basically did whatever Captain America said that he wanted to do. Well, I guess you can say that it was Civil War, but it was also, it wasn't really Winter Soldier. I guess you could say consequences of what she was doing in Civil War led her up to this point. That's what I'm basically trying to say, her actions in Civil War led up to the consequences that she's facing now in, the Winter Soldier. After that, she's off the grid. She doesn't really have family and friends to back her up. Steve is no longer here. Things are going down here for her. And, I actually really liked her interactions. I actually liked Sharon Carter all throughout this episode. I wish that I would give her more in the MCU. What we've seen her got in Civil War and the Winter Soldier. I wish that she was integrated more into the MCU. But yeah, I absolutely love Sam in this episode. Now, we see her help Sam and Bucky and Zemo, Falcon and Bucky in a second, because they was amazing in this episode. Zemo especially. But, we see her at the end. We see her help Bucky and Sam. Her fight choreography was amazing in this episode. I know some people say that her fight choreography was bad, but I don't know. I loved her fight choreography in this episode. I see kind of theories online in other YouTube channels. She's actually going to be the power broker. Now, do I believe that? Yes and no. It's a possibility that she is a power broker. We saw her leave with that assistant, or I don't know what she was, but she left with the lady in the car and she said, hey, we got more trouble. I tell you everything about it in the car, and she kind of left off and did her own thing, which was kind of suspicious. I don't really think that she's a power broker. I think that this is more of her kind of going off the grid. But yeah, I love Sarah Carter in this episode. Now, let's talk about the highlight of this episode, which is Sam, Bucky, and Zemo Now, first I gotta say, Zemo dancing in the club, but that was like the best part of the episode. I go clubbing with Zemo anytime. In my opinion. Him dancing in the club, he got some moves. But anyways, Sam, Bucky, and Zemo was definitely the highlight of this episode. You talking about on the plane after the whole mission, Madripoor, which Madripoor was a big part of this episode, which is actually goes back in the comics where, if you didn't know, Madripoor is basically the kind of spot that X-Men go more of Wolverine, Patches, his alter ego, if you want to find out information about the underworld, he goes undercover as Patches in Madripoor. So that's basically, a little bit of a fun fact. But now getting back on to Bucky and Sam Zemo in this episode, I absolutely loved them throughout this episode. Rather you talking about Zemo saying not Bucky back into the Winter Soldier by him saying those words, that was fantastic. That was great. Kind of, kind of messing with Bucky, kind of playing with him a little bit. Bucky and Zemo was great in this episode. I'll talk about Sam in a little bit. But yeah, Bucky and Sam was great. Bucky and Zemo was great in this episode. This action scenes was great in this episode, by the way. Zemo, we see Zemo with the mask on. The couple minutes that we got of him with the mask, I thought it was great. At first, when I saw it, I thought it was like goofy. But as the episode went on, not actually really bad on him. Let's talk about Sam in this episode. Now, I get it. He's kind of not wanting to take on the legacy of Captain America. I get it. But I think in the third episode, I really wanted him to kind of switch. Hey, maybe I should take on the legacy of Captain America. Sam was great in this episode, by the way. Him reacting to Zemo, his interactions with Bucky, all that was great. But I just wish that, in the next episode, he would kind of he would be able to turn this corner a little bit, saying that, hey, maybe I should check up the shield of Captain America. Him kind of having a pity party for himself and kind of, I don't know, not really working out for me. It worked fine in the first episode, in the second episode, but now in this episode, I'm kind of getting tired of it a little bit more or less. But yeah, that doesn't take away from how I feel about Sam in this episode. Everybody was great, top notch in this episode. I just have little nitpicks here and there about Sam. That's all. We also got, one of the Wakanda guards at the end, I guess the cliffhanger of the episode, which I'm very interested in see about. She says, I'm here for Zemo. Zemo did kill T'Chaka. I guess throughout this, there's only 3 episodes left, so I guess throughout the 3 episodes, we are going to get more of the repercussions of what happened with Zemo and killing T'Chaka. Honda is involved, so I'm very interested in to see, these 3 episodes will involve Wakanda and how they're going to deal with U.S. Agent and Zemo and all that fun stuff. But yeah, comment down below. Did you like this episode? Did you hate it? Did you like Zemo? Did you like Sam? Did you like Bucky and Sam? Make sure you give a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.